Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. In the last lecture, I mentioned deliriant subgroup of cerebral group of poisons. As you know, it contains cannabis indica, dhatura, Iocyanus niger, and out of those I discussed cannabis indica. And today I will take up two poisons. The first one is another important deliriant poison, that is dhatura. So with that, deliriant poison will be over, and then second poison which I will take up today is strychnine or Nux vomica, which belongs to spinal group of neurotic poisons. So both these, dhatura and Nux vomica, are very important for exams, and SCQs are usually asked. And for example, symptoms and signs of the both poisons are generally asked in exam. Dhatura is a deliriant poison. It has two varieties, dhatura alba or safed dhatura and dhatura niger or kala dhatura. It contains bell-shaped flowers and yellowish brown seeds. Seeds are poisonous. Average fruit has 450 to 500 seeds and weighs about 8 grams. The fruit resembles like apple, so it is also called thorn apple. The active principle contains alkaloids, levohyoscyamine, hyoscine, or scopolamine, and traces of atropine. Now, what is an alkaloid? It is a complex chemical structure which behaves like an alkali and combines with acids to form salts. Here you can see the two pictures of the dhatura plant. It's round, it has thorns on its exterior surface. One is of white color on your left side, and on your right side is dark color or blackish. So this left one is safed dhatura and the right one is kala dhatura. Now coming to mode of action of dhatura. It stimulates the higher centers of brain and then the motor centers. Number 2, it inhibits secretions of sweat and saliva, dilate cutaneous blood vessels and pupils, and stimulate heart regulating center. Then it is followed by depression and paralysis of vital centers in medulla. If you keep in mind this mode of action, you will easily understand the signs and symptoms it produces when it is used. Now this is very important question. Signs and symptoms are symptoms and signs of dhatura poisoning, and almost all of them start from D, letter D, so they are called 9 Ds of dhatura poisoning. So sometimes you get a question, what are signs and symptoms, and sometimes you get what are 9 Ds of dhatura. But before that, I want to tell you how it enters body. The route or method of administration of dhatura. It is mainly ingestion, mixed in a food or drink, or given to a victim Usually a passenger sitting at railway station, train or bus stand who is offered a drink or food from a fellow passenger who is a stranger to him or anyone, and that drink or food he accepts and then goes into stupor. The other person who gave him that item is a robber, so he takes out all money from his pockets and purse and other precious belongings such as jewelry, watch, etc., and flees from the scene of crime. Therefore, Dhatura is called a roadside poison because usually it is used on the way. So, coming to signs and symptoms, initially the victim is restless and confused, but later becomes delirious and uses abusive language and is angry. Those are signs of delirium. He may experience visual and auditory hallucinations. Now you know what are hallucinations. Later, drowsiness, stupor and coma, then rarely death from respiratory paralysis. Now I will give you a list of symptoms called 9 Ds, as each starts with the letter D. So this you must learn by heart. Number 1, dryness of the mouth and throat. Number 2, difficulty in talking. Number 3, dysphagia. Number 4, dilatation of cutaneous blood vessels. Number 5, dilatation of pupils. Number 6, dry hot skin. Number 7, drunken gait. Number 8, delirium. And number 9, drowsiness. Now I take them one by one. So dryness of the mouth and throat. So if you concentrate on mode of action, there I told you that this poison inhibits the secretions of sweat and saliva. So naturally, because of this, mouth and throat will be dry because there will be no saliva, and because of this he will feel difficulty in talking, and because of this he will have dysphagia, that means difficulty swallowing anything. Now it also causes dilatation of cutaneous blood vessels. What effect you will see on the body? The skin will be reddish and hot because of increased blood supply. Now it also causes dilatation of pupils, so pupil will appear large. So naturally, because of these effects, their skin will be dry and hot. Now because of delirium or effect on higher centers, he will have, and motor centers, he will have drunken gait. And because of that effects on CNS, he will have delirium, and later he may become drowsy. So these are 9 Ds which are famous. This set of symptoms or signs or condition is mistaken or misdiagnosed by examining physician as drunkenness, because you can see some of these symptoms resemble alcohol intoxication, where you also find delirium and drunken gait, etc. So, fatal dose. So that was about 9 Ds of Dhatura. Now you can see in this picture condition of eyes, pupils, they are dilated and large in size. You can see the condition of tongue, it is dry. You can see the condition of hands, they are also dry and reddish. Legs, they are dry. These are all effects of Dhatura. Now coming to fatal dose of Datura, it is about 100 to 125 seeds. So seeds are found in fruit. I will show you the picture of seeds. For adult, lethal dose of alkaloid is 60 milligram. For children, lethal dose of alkaloid is 4 milligram. And fatal period, death usually occurs within 24 hours. Now coming to treatment of Datura poisoning, the patient or victim of poisoning is brought to ER or emergency of a hospital by railway police or some other police. The following are the steps of treatment. So if the history is known, then immediately gastric lavage or stomach wash is done with weak solution of potassium permanganate, and if it is not available, 4 to 5% of tannic acid. After that, physiological antidote physostigmine 1.5 milligram by intravenous injection, or neostigmine 25 milligram intravenous injection is given. So it does opposite action to that of Datura alkaloid and helps to restore health. Purgatives are used which help to eliminate poison from stools by causing diarrhea, such as magnesium sulfate or potassium sulfate. Symptomatic treatment is done for pain, fever, dehydration, etc. In non-fatal cases, recovery takes place in a day or two. So in most of the cases, the patient recovers. After that, I discussed the post-mortem findings or autopsy findings. They are not very specific. They are mainly those of asphyxia, I think, which you know the signs of asphyxia very well. There may be congestion of GIT. So GIT is you don't find any specific finding, but one useful finding during internal autopsy examination is presence or detection of Datura seeds in stomach. Just look at this picture. This autopsy was done, and Datura fruit was recovered from the stomach of the victim, which it contains seeds inside. So Datura seeds, they have specific effect on putrefaction. They resist putrefaction. They slow it down. So they are easy to detect even on exhumation. Now, what are medico-legal aspects of Datura poisoning? There are three main aspects. Number one, it is a stupefying poison or roadside poison. Number two, accidental poisoning can be done. Number three, it is aphrodisiac, that means sexually stimulant poison. So the main or most important aspect is it is used as stupefying roadside poison like opium and cannabis indica, which are already described. And also it is I have told you before in sign symptoms that how it is used to rob travelers by criminals. That is why it is called a roadside poison. Number two is accidental poisoning. which mainly occurs in children when they, out of curiosity, eat its fruit and think it as apple or something, and also they can eat the seeds inside because these seeds resemble red chilies except the color, which may be different. Now there are differentiating points between chili seeds and datura seeds. They are given under vegetable irritant poisons in Parekh. You can see the differences there, because you will have to study vegetable irritant poisons on your own from the book. We don't take up them in lectures. Some quacks prescribe datura as aphrodisiac, that means for sexual stimulation or enhancement, and it may prove fatal due to overdose. So with that, I am done with the first poison. Now I coming to take up the second poison, which is called strychnine or Nux vomica. So this referring to classification of neurotic poisons again. These neurotic poisons are divided into three groups. Number 1, cerebral, acting on cerebellum. Number 2, spinal poisons acting on spinal cord. And number 3, peripheral poisons acting on peripheral nerves. So this strychnine or Nux vomica is a spinal poison. It acts on spinal cord. So in Urdu it is called kuchla. And what is mode of action of this poison? It acts mainly on spinal cord, resulting in the production of spasms. What are spasms? They are violent muscular contractions. It stimulates all parts of CNS, particularly the interior horn cells of spinal cord, causing greatly increased reflex excitability. Normal inhibition of spread of motor cell stimulation is lost, so that any slight stimulus such as noise, light or air breeze causes violent reflex generalized muscle spasms. So that is mode of action of this poison which I have described. Next is what are sources and properties. This belongs to spinal group of poisons, has depressant action on brain and spinal cord, mainly on spinal cord. Strychnine is a powerful alkaloid obtained from the seeds of plant Citricos nux vomica. So name of the plant is Citricos nux vomica. These seeds are present in ripe fruit of the plant and are poisonous. Now seeds are hard and flat, 2 cm in diameter, half centimeter in thickness, convex on one side and concave on the other side. Now these seeds are found in our museum. Perhaps you have seen them or you must see them again. They are yellowish brown in color and shining hard outer coat covered with silky hair. They are very bitter in taste and contain the active principles which are strychnine, brucine and loganin. So there are 3 active principles of this Nux vomica. Number 1, strychnine, number 2, brucine and number 3, loganin. Strychnine is highly toxic and potent. Brucine is mildly toxic and loganin has very little or no effect. Next is our signs and symptoms of strychnine or Nux vomica. Ingested unbroken seeds are non-poisonous. as hard outer coat, which is called pericap, is not soluble in digestive juices. If broken seeds are taken or seeds are chewed, then the effect. There is intense bitter taste in mouth. Within 15 minutes to an hour, symptoms starts to develop. Victim or patient is anxious and restless. He complains of stiffness of muscles before convulsions start. Then convulsions starts, which are at first clonic. That means they are intermittent. They come after a gap. Then become tonic. That means they are continuous or sustained. They affect simultaneously both the flexors and extensors muscles of the body. The muscles become so stiff and rigid that body is arched with only back of head and heels touching ground. This posture is called opisthotonus. Sometimes you get a short note on what is opisthotonus. Sometimes body is curved forward. This is called emprosthotonus. Or on sides, this is called pleurotonus. Chest is fixed, so breathing is difficult, and dyspnea and cyanosis may occur. There is blood-stained froth seen at the mouth. The facial muscles contract into a fixed grin, which is called rhesus sardonicus. Now this again resembles with a condition which is called tetanus, so you have to differentiate them, both conditions. Eyes appear prominent and staring. The convulsions pass off sometimes and muscles are completely relaxed, so patient looks normal and breathing is resumed. But this is temporary. Spasms again start and increase in severity, duration and frequency. Any sound or movement in the environment will cause the patient go into more spasm. Death is either during a spasm due to asphyxia from spasm of respiratory muscles, or from exhaustion due to repetition of spasms. The mind remains clear till the end and patient gets extreme pains during convulsions. Death is very painful. Fatal dose of strychnine is ingestion of 1 crushed seed or 15 to 30 milligram of strychnine, and fatal period is 1 to 2 hours. Now, what is the differential diagnosis of strychnine? It resembles 3 other conditions. Number 1, tetanus. Number 2, epilepsy. And number 3, hysteria. So for comparison or further information, you have to see table 55.1 in Parekh. So you will understand what is the difference. Next is how to treat a case of strychnine poisoning. Following are important points regarding treatment. The patient is kept in bed in dark, quiet room. Doctor has to give quick anesthesia with chloroform or an intravenous barbiturate if symptoms permit. Stomach wash is done with a dilute solution of potassium permanganate. A suspension of animal charcoal, that is a mechanical antidote, is given to absorb any free strychnine, or if charcoal is not available, then tannic acid is given. The antidotes used are barbiturates, like phenobarbital sodium intravenous in a dose of 500 to 750 milligram and repeated if required. Then intravenous diazepam 2.5 milligram as anticonvulsant, and mefensin, a muscle relaxant, is also given. Artificial respiration, supportive therapy and oxygen are necessary. Now the autopsy findings in a case of strychnine poisoning are those of asphyxia, rigor mortis, a post-mortem change of muscles, sets in immediately after death and passes off early. Remains of the seed are found in stomach. This poison resists putrefaction and can be detected in viscera in putrefied bodies on exhumation. Specimens to be collected, preserved, and are sent to chemical examiner or usual viscera which are collected in each case of poisoning, which you know well, and specific specimens like brain and spinal cord in such case. Medico-legal aspects of strychnine are accidental, homicidal, suicidal, and cattle poisoning. Number one, it is mainly accidental from its use as an aphrodisiac or from an overdosage of a medicinal preparation, or when children eat the seed out of curiosity. Number two, it may be homicidal, but is rare due to very bitter taste and the convulsions that follow rapidly after ingestion. Number three, suicidal is rare because death is highly painful. Number four, cattle poisoning or animal poisoning. It is used to kill stray dogs, also used as rodenticide to kill rats sometimes, and sometimes used as arrow poison to kill useless animals. Now in last slide I have some two SEQs and which have been asked so far. Number one, what are signs and symptoms of strychnine poisoning? So this you have to narrate all the signs and symptoms. Number two, a 30-year-old male was brought in accident and emergency department. Patient was conscious and having staring look, fever and convulsions after every 15 minutes. So usually in prof you are given a scenario and then you have to pick the specific symptoms which suggest the diagnosis. So in this scenario you can see conscious, because the patient remains conscious till the end, so this is one clue. Staring look also found in this case. Convulsions are very important signs of this poison which are repeatedly coming. So these are enough to give you, if you know the theory or if you know these sign symptoms, you will easily find which poison is this. So this is scenario. Then the question asked are A, what is your clinical diagnosis? So it's very easy, so you will write it as strychnine poisoning. Now write three differential diagnoses. This is part B. This I have told you: hysteria, tetanus and epilepsy. C, how will you manage such a case? So I have told you the treatment, you should remember that. With that I conclude today's lecture. Thank you very much.